deploying troops along its coast and border with the neighboring Colombia, as well as by urging the Venezuelans to enlist in a civilian militia. Also, in the face of this maximum military pressure, we have declared maximum preparedness for the defense of the Venezuela, Maduro said of the deployment, which he characterized as an extravagant, unjustifiable, immoral, and absolutely criminal and bloody threat. The United States Navy now has two Aegis-guided missiles destroyer, the USS Gravely and the USS Jason Dunham in the Caribbean, as well as the destroyer USS Sampson and the cruiser USS Lake Erie in the waters of Latin America. That military presence is set to expand. 3 amphibious assault ships, a force that encompasses more than 4,000 sailors and marines, would be entering the region this week, a defense official told the Millennium and Associated Press on the condition of anonymity to describe ongoing operations. The deployment comes as the President Donald Trump has pushed for using the military to thwart cartels he blamed for the flow of the fentanyl and other illicit drugs into the United States communities and for perpetrating violence in some United States cities. On Monday, the Venezuelan Foreign Minister, that is Juan Gil, citing a United Nations report, told that his counterpart in various Latin American countries that the deployment of the U.S. maritime forces is built on a false narrative, as 87% of the cocaine produced in Colombia departs through the Pacific and traffickers attempt to move only 5% of the product through the Venezuela. The landlocked Bolivia and Colombia, with access to the Pacific and Caribbean, are the world's top cocaine producers. Gill added the narrative threatens the entire region and an attack on the Venezuela would really mean a complete destabilization of the region. Let us immediately demand an end on this deployment, which has no other reason than to threaten a sovereign republic. Also, he added during a virtual meeting of the members of the Community of the Latin America and Caribbean States Regional Group. Maduro also used his news conference to insist that he was the legitimate winner of the last year's presidential election, but ample and credible evidence has shown the contrary, prompting the several countries, including the United States, to not recognize Maduro as Venezuelan president. Maduro, sworn in to a third 6-year term in January, added that his government maintains two lines of communication with the Donald Trump administration, one with the State Department and another with the Trump's envoy for special missions, Richard Grenell. He called Secretary of State Marco Rubio a warlord pushing for action in the Caribbean to topple Venezuelan government. Since the July 2024 presidential election, the Venezuelan political opposition has been urging the United States and other countries to pressure Maduro into leaving his office. Its leader, that is Maria Corina Machado, also last month thanked Trump and Rubio for the deployment of the vessels, describing the move as the right approach towards the Venezuela's government. Also, she described this as a criminal enterprise. Maduro on the Monday, however, also warned the United States military action against Venezuela that would stain Donald Trump's hand with blood. President Donald Trump, the pursuit of the regime change is exhausted. It has failed as a policy worldwide, Maduro said. You cannot pretend to impose a situation